what they do affects them. Like,
they
this
need
is
something that has
directly
impact
affect-
directly.
Right,
You know,
right.
ndo you ugali hapa.
Right.
Sauce.
So
Yeah.
if you can't, they it's like this. And first of all, this is not like unique to Kenya. We've had this even in the States, like in the '66, I think, like when all this Vietnam stuff was happening. This dude came. It was, I can't remember his name.
JFK.
No. There's a dude who was being asked, like, the state of the youth.
Well, 66 JFK was already.
Oh, he had already been. He had already gone to meet his creator.
Alikuwa ameingia Mungu Air,
Yeah.
right?
So and this dude was being asked, like, the state of the youth, like, I think it was either Vietnam. I could be wrong. And the dude was like, the youth, turn on, tune in, and drop out.
But I think some of the narratives like nothing has been done. And this
According
is
to them.
This is where I mean it becomes according to them. The narrative comes first before it becomes according to them. And there are these cliches that people say, oh, they're all the same. No, they're not. Nothing has been done. Actually, something has been done. And I think this is where we just need more nuanced conversations, because some of these narratives, they take root and they become believable, which is what happened also with here in the US with
Hillary.
With Hillary. These narratives take root. When they keep being said, they start having some truth in it. Politics, most of us are employed and we're used to corporate processes, and I think sometimes we tend to make comparisons in things that are very different. Now, the sausage making process in politics is very messy, and it takes a very long time. I'll give a quick short example, like the act of diaspora voting. From when it was promulgated in the Constitution in 2010, it has taken up to 2022 for this action to actually start. So when you look at where young people were in the 90s, and where young people are, let's say things that young people do, let's say like in the creative industry, in the arts, where people who were in the arts in the 90s were, and where they are today, it's very different. And this is based on, of course, some non-government actors, but also based on a lot of government action too. So I think it's important, while we have these narratives of nothing has been done, it's the same people, we kind of nuance these conversations, because I think they are the social media age. And unfortunately, in the social media generation, narratives move faster and they get believed faster. They kind of marinate much quicker than they used to before. Before, it took time before it spread into the community and people start believing in it. But now when there's these short clips that go around, they start, and I believe they become victims to that. Adding on to what Omosh had said, not saying that we are a better generation or anything, but I think we had a better understanding of what happened in the generation before us. Be it independence, be it the Kenyatta time, we had an idea. There was this session I was watching, I can't remember exactly where it was, where people, young people were being asked, these are young people close to the age of 30, who was the first female presidential candidate? I'm going to challenge the studio right now to run in Kenya, to run for presidents in Kenya. I'm going to put you guys on the spot, because to me, I was so shocked that these young people they just totally had no idea. And it's someone who's currently in politics.
Oh, no.
It's someone who's currently in politics. The first
Charity
female
Gill.
to run for
Charity
president.
Charity
Yes,
Gill.
it was
Yeah.
Charity Gill.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they totally had no idea, and they couldn't even picture, which means that there's no understanding. I don't know whether in schools they still teach that
Civics.
recent history.
That would be civics,
the
right?
civics and the recent history.
Yeah.
but I feel like there's a disconnect
yes.
there. There's very recent things
Yeah.
that happened when they were alive that they seem not privy to. Either maybe due to the fact that maybe it's not in the education curriculum, or maybe there's just a lack of interest in it.
It could be a little bit of both. Because I have a nephew. This dude is 23. And when you try to bring stuff like that up, is like, how does that affect me? Like right now, how is it affecting me? I mean, I need something. So when you're talking to me about history, I mean, I need to do something.
That's a Gen Z.
Exactly. So, it comes to this whole idea of, first of all, equity.
Yeah.
How do you make these kids feel that this also is part of them? Like, what they do affects them. Like,
they
this
need
is
something that has
directly
impact
affected.
directly.
Right,
Ndo hii ugali hapa.
Right.
Sosi.
So
Yeah.
if you can't, they it's like this. And first of all, this is not like unique to Kenya. We've had this even in the States, like in the '66, I think, like when all this Vietnam stuff was happening. This dude came. I can't remember his name.
JFK.
No. There's a dude who was being asked, like, the state of the youth.
Well, 66 JFK was already.
Oh, he had already gone to meet his creator.
Alikuwa ameingia Mongo Air.
Yeah.
So and this dude was being asked, like, the state of youth, like, I think it was either Vietnam. I could be wrong. And the dude was like, the youth, turn on, tune in, and drop out, like, and we're seeing that now. Like, what when we talk about Kenyan politics, right? For the last, how many presidents we've had? Like 5? Whatever.
No, we've had
4.
5 here.
4? We're about to have the 5th.
Four,
This is the 5th one.
I mean,
yeah.
we already have no, not yet, but we're about to have the 5th one.
So,
yeah.
Tell me, who has been, like, inspirational of those presidents? Like, who has inspired? I remember, like, when Obama was running in 2008, like, even, like, you felt like you're the one actually going to be president. Like, this dude was making us feel,
You're part of the process.
Yes, like, we are coming to actually change this country. We seldom have that in Kenya. Like, we like, you just know. It's like it's like a coronation. You know who will be president again, So that's the whole thing. Like, the youth turn in, they tune in, and they drop out. Like, there's nothing in there for them. So there's no equity for them, right?
Yeah.
So I just don't know. I wish there's a way that they can be put to be part of the system, part and parcel of, like, okay, this is our future. Because most of these guys will be making decisions for the next 5 years that will be directly affecting them, for the next 5 years.
Yeah.
Then what?
And I think that goes back to where they feel that politics have no connection to me. And I hear you, and this is coming from somebody who literally teaches civic engagement, right? So I feel like the youth in Kenya feel like the policymakers, the lawmakers don't engage them when they are in office. So, like, there's no relation. So, and then there are older people, like utanisaidia nini, right?
So here,
and Gen Z,
Yeah.
which is that entirely Gen Z, is
Right.
very big about practicality.
Yes.
How practical is this to me?
So
And I think we're missing connecting policy to practical things because they don't see it. Where they are, nyumbani kwao hawaoni venye what's happening on TV affecting them.
yeah, and like I'm not sure. Mika, can you hear us? Okay, we're gonna try to keep sorting Mika's audio, but here, okay, I'll go back to the nuanced conversations. When we say things that they're not part of the process, they're not put in. The Jubilee government hired very many young people, so many of them, and they elected in so many young people. By young people, I mean people under the age of 35, people under the age of 30. Sakaja, how old is Sakaja currently? He's I think no, hajafika 40. I think he might be 38, 39. he was a nominated member of parliament close to 10 years ago. Look at the age of the people who are actually running for Nairobi governor.
Right.
These are fairly young people.
Right.
You know, like these are people in their late 30s, maybe early 40s. So that's the reason why I say, you know, like we need to figure out what's happening, because maybe we've not had, and even when you look at Uhuru, you know, previously we're used to seeing presidents who are older. You know, like Kibaki took power when he was in his late 70s, I think. But Uhuru took power when he was in his early 50s. You know, and Ruto, who was a deputy, was younger. So that's why I'm saying we also have to be careful to not you know, like keep pushing, and I think what Ruth said is true. It's not necessarily what's factual, it's how they feel.
Exactly.
Yeah.